So hopefully this is a good news story for a change. I'm outside where the old Royal Victoria Station was in Sheffield. Closed down in about 1970-ish, I think. I remember using it as a kid. I was born in 1964. First 2 years of my life I lived on the embankment at the side of, or at the bottom of the embankment at the side of Woodhouse Station. I can remember coming into Sheffield as a very young boy, coming down this station. And my parents say that there was a really well utilised line at the time. A lot of industrial type trains passing, but also there were fast trains passing, and you could actually set the actual clock to the times of the train. So here we have what I think was the old waterboard offices, and like I said at the other station last week, at the Midland station last week, I couldn't understand why the old rail offices weren't converted rather than just knocking them down. So I'm going to have a walk up here and just see if we can actually see any part of the remaining station. The thing is, this used to be the Great Grand Central Railway, running from Barrow in London, cutting through the heart of the country, closed down by Beeching when he axed it. Now, what I can't understand is why it wasn't mothballed at the time. Because things change, you know, say in 10 or 20 years' time. So if they just mothball the line, it could have been reopened quite easily. I don't think the issue was with usage so much, even though I think the usage had probably dropped. Probably was lack of investment, and probably wasn't the investment at the time to get people back on the train then. But this used to be packed with cars down here, same down there. As you can see now, there's hardly any cars up here, but we've still got the old lampposts up here. But the other thing is with this station, and this is what's absolute madness, it ran across to Manchester. It was electrified in the 1950s, and then they closed it down in the 1970s. It was the quickest line from Sheffield to Manchester, and what they did is they kept the line open through the Peak District, because there was a big uproar about their line going down, even though their line takes so much longer to get across to Manchester. And the other thing is, there was the Woodhead Tunnel, so they were pretty protected in winter. But so deserted. I have to excuse the cough. You see the old Royal Victoria Station. They've extended a bit behind it. But the positive story I'm hearing is they want to reopen the line from here to, I think it's Stocksbridge, and they've got a £50,000 sum of money to actually investigate that. The other thing is they're talking about opening the line down to Chesterfield as well, to Barrow Hill. Same again, there's another amount of money to actually look at that as well. Now down at Barrow Hill there's a large turntable for the old locomotives down there. I think there's a museum down there as well, and I think that does connect to a line somewhere. So it'd be really fantastic if we've got a line back down. So you've got the Derek Dooley Way up there. So we cut, Derek Dooley Way cuts right through this old ramp that took you up to Victoria. Like I said, it would be really great if they actually get the line down to Barrow Hill, so we'll be seeing steam trains coming up from there. But also get across to Stocksbridge, and whether the Woodhead Tunnel could be reopened in the future, I don't know. It's got cables through it at the moment. I'm sure it's quite easy to get the cables routed back through, but here now we're coming on to one of the old stations. Now, the thing that with the Victoria was, originally it had got a massive cover over it, so the Midland station hasn't really got a cover over it, whereas the Victoria station had got like separate covers, but also one giant cover over it, so we would have been on one of the old platforms. But how they're going to reopen the train station here is, I don't know. So yeah, you can see a bit of the where the line would have come through there, I think, possibly at the back. But that's it, that's just a quick view of the Victoria Station, what's left of it, and hopefully a positive news story in the first place. Great Central Line should have never have been shut down, should have been at very least mothballed. I'm sure people have got memories of this station, and I hope that triggered a few memories.